everyone, so today I'm going to be doing a video that I've been meaning to do for quite a while because it's a very important tutorial, and it is how I clean my makeup brushes. So before we get into the demo where I show you guys actually going through the process of cleaning and drying my brushes, I want to talk to you a little bit about the products that I use and things like that. The other day I had a friend over to my house and my makeup brushes had just been washed and they were sitting on my counter to dry, and she gave me this really weird look. She's like, "Why are your makeup brushes on the counter? What are you doing?" And I was like, "Oh, I just washed them. I was just setting them out to dry." And she goes, "You washed them?" And I was like, "Yeah." She goes, "Why would you wash your makeup brushes?" And she had never heard that you need to wash your makeup brushes in order to keep them clean and keep them like working really well and functioning as well as they can. So seems to me that there are probably a lot of people out there who don't actually know that you need to clean your makeup brushes. So the number one thing that I want to address is, yes, you do need to clean your brushes. I clean mine about once a week, but there are two types of cleaning. There's spot cleaning, which is basically just like a surface clean. If you want to change up the eyeshadow color that you're using with your brush or the blush color or something, you can use a little bit of spot cleaner and then go ahead and let that dry for it doesn't take very long, just a few minutes really, and then you can go ahead and use the other color. The type of cleaning that I'm talking about and that I'm going to talk to you about and show you how to do in this video is deep cleaning, and that is where you basically shampoo your brushes and you give them a thorough wash. And deep cleaning is really important because brushes, especially face brushes, if you're using them as concealer brushes or foundation brushes, can hold on to bacteria and oil from your skin, and that can cause breakouts really, really easily. So you want to make sure that you are washing your brushes regularly, not just spot cleaning, but deep cleaning them as well. I typically wash my foundation and concealer brushes every 3 to 4 days, just depending on how often I'm using them. I don't really spot clean my brushes hardly ever. I have found that wiping your brushes, especially if you're just trying to switch eyeshadow colors or something like that, if you just wipe it on the back of your hand or on a Kleenex or something like that, it really gets the pigment off and you can switch colors without a problem. And I also tend to use pretty similar colors. I use a lot of neutrals in my eye look especially. I'm not somebody who uses like bright yellow and bright blue at the same time. If you are somebody who uses a lot of bright shadows or just bright colors anywhere in your face and you want to be able to switch the different colors really easily without having to worry about deep cleaning your brushes, I would definitely recommend just trying wiping it on a Kleenex or on the back of your hand before you go out and buy a spot cleanser. I think it does a really good job, and most of the pigment that you're worried about will fall out pretty immediately, especially if it is a super bright color. It will come right off on your skin when you brush in your hand. So just try that, and then if you aren't satisfied with that, then go ahead and buy a spot cleanser. I do think that it's worth investing in a professional spot cleanser if you are somebody who uses a lot of bright pigments. There are many different brush cleansers out there, which means a cleanser that is specially formulated to clean makeup brushes, and I believe the most popular one is the MAC brush cleanser, which is about $11 a bottle. I believe that the method that I'm about to show you guys for how to clean your makeup brushes actually does a little bit of a better job than the MAC brush cleanser, and it's also way cheaper. The product that I use to deep clean my brushes is the Comforts Baby Shampoo. This is just the generic store brand, Fred Meyer brand of Johnson's & Johnson's baby shampoo. You can use any kind of baby shampoo that you like as long as it is formulated specifically to be gentle for babies. If you use a adult or just a regular shampoo, that can harm your brushes. It can strip them and it can make the bristles really coarse and feel just not good and just completely damage your brushes basically. So I have several brushes with me right now that need to be washed, and I'm going to go ahead and show you guys how I wash them. I gathered a variety of brushes to show you guys how to wash today. We have some denser, fluffier brushes and some smaller, thinner eye brushes. So let's get started. Before I even start to wash my brushes, I like to lay down a folded piece of Kleenex so that when my brushes are ready to dry, they can go straight there and I don't have to grab the Kleenex in between. You can use any kind of absorbent surface to dry your brushes. I just like to use Kleenex because it's easy and it's quick, but you could also use a clean cloth towel or a paper towel. I like to start by adding a little bit of water to my hand before I add the cleanser. I think it helps the lather come up a little bit more. I take a little bit more than a quarter size amount for this brush. This is my denser Kabuki brush by Bare Essentials. It's the Flawless Face Brush. The biggest challenge that you're going to have with the denser brushes is making sure that it's damp all the way through. It can be hard to make sure that the water goes through all the bristles and gets it damp all the way so that you can lather it, which is obviously very important because you want to make sure that all the bristles are getting clean. So before you even start to swirl it in your hand, make sure that there is water all the way through the brush. Throughout washing and rinsing off your brush, you want to make sure that you're keeping the same swirling motion. This just keeps the water moving and circulated through the bristles so that it doesn't stay in one place for too long, and it does get the entire brush rinsed out. So once the suds run clean and white in your hand, make sure that you rinse it out super well. You should be using a lukewarm to warm water temperature throughout washing your brushes. Do not use a super hot temperature as it can actually melt the glue and loosen the bristles of your brush. Once the brush is totally rinsed out, you want to make sure that you get all the excess water out by just giving it a few gentle squeezes. Squeeze the bristles in the direction that you want them to dry so that it sets and dries that way. The process for washing your eye makeup brushes is pretty much identical to washing a bigger brush. However, they are so small that you can wash multiple at one time. So again, just start by taking some of the cleanser with some water in your hand and swirling around the brushes until the suds run white and clean. You want to make really sure with any kind of brush that the water is not getting above the metal handle. Right where my right thumb is the end of the metal handle, and if the water gets past that point, it can seep into the brush handle and loosen all the glue, and essentially your brushes will fall apart over time. So make extra sure that you're just washing the brush head. When you set your brushes out to dry, rest the handle on something that's elevated. Here I'm just using the ledge on the side of my sink. By elevating the brush handle above the brush head, you're making sure that the water can't stay in the handle of the brush, and therefore it won't contribute to any glue loosening or bristle loosening over time. Depending on its density, a brush can take anywhere from a couple hours to a day to dry. So that's how I clean my makeup brushes. I hope this video was useful to you and that you enjoyed it. If you have any questions, please feel free to leave them in the comment below. If you guys have any other basic beauty tutorials or questions that you want answered, please go ahead and leave that in the comment below as well, and I will definitely get to work on a video for that. I hope this video was useful to you and that you enjoyed it. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye! And now that there's over 100 of you, I want to definitely make sure that I'm staying in touch with that side of the channel rather than just talking about products.